In the top stories, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew is in Nigeria with a national delegation for the Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit. St. Kitts and Nevis has signed a film and creative industry partnership in Nigeria, with Minister Samuel Duggins announcing the agreement, and Minister Conris Maynard is urging sustainable water use and greater public awareness during World Water Day activities. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Courts is giving you the chance to experience the Caribbean's premier music and arts event, the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Every Courts purchase of $2,999 or more from now to April 23rd gives you a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two. To enjoy the music, the flair, and to create unforgettable memories for you and your guests. Don't miss this opportunity. Shop today only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
It's something that you can't put into words. A buzz in the air. From the time you wake up, you're ready to go. The freedom, the fantasy, the fete. To know it is to live it and love it. You have to experience it. If you know, you know. Angostura White Oak Rum. New look, same vibes inside.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I am Shaira Flanders. Nationally, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew is in Abuja, Nigeria, leading a delegation from St. Kitts and Nevis to the second Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit. The March 23rd to 28th summit is being held under the theme One Voice, One Vision, Advancing Afro-Caribbean Unity, and brings together government, business, and regional leaders. The Prime Minister is accompanied by Minister of Agriculture Samuel Duggins, along with a delegation of nearly 70 participants, including young people, business representatives, and other stakeholders from across the Federation and the wider Caribbean. Delegations from several Caribbean countries are also in attendance, including Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands. Also present is a delegation from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, led by Director General Dr. Dedicus Jules. Speaking after his arrival, Prime Minister Drew said the summit provides an important platform to deepen cooperation between Africa and the Caribbean, with a focus on expanding opportunities across key sectors. He added that this year's delegation reflects a deliberate emphasis on youth engagement and long-term development. Meanwhile, St. Kitts and Nevis has signed a major agreement to advance its creative industry on day one of the Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit. Earlier today, the agreement was signed by Minister of the Creative Economy Samuel Duggins and Nigerian filmmaker and director Steve Gukas, founder of Natives Filmworks. Officials say the partnership will support the production of a major film in St. Kitts and Nevis, scheduled for June 2026, while also establishing a framework for training, mentorship, and collaboration across the creative sector. The initiative builds on recent engagements in Nigeria and is expected to create opportunities for emerging filmmakers and creatives from St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider Caribbean. Minister Duggins said the collaboration has regional potential, with plans to expand film production across the Caribbean and tell stories that reflect the diversity of global Africa from a Caribbean perspective. A delegation of creatives and industry stakeholders from St. Kitts and Nevis is also participating in the summit, as part of efforts to ensure the partnership delivers practical benefits for the local creative sector. In other news, the Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, the Honorable Conris Maynard, has called on the public to be mindful of how the Federation's water resources are used. The appeal came in his address marking World Water Day, which is observed each year on March 22nd and was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 1993. Minister Maynard said residents must be more conscious of how they use the water supply across the Federation.
Everyone agrees that water is precious and must be valued. Yet, the reality is that many of us only think about water when we do not have it. This mindset must change. We must recognize that water is not only essential for life, but also fundamental to our health, our economy, and our national development. Water touches every aspect of our daily lives, whether for drinking, cooking, sanitation, agriculture, or industry. It is truly one of the pillars upon which our society stands.
He also addressed the significance of the 2026 World Water Day theme, Water and Gender.
This year's theme, Water and Gender, reminds us that access to water is deeply connected to issues of equality and social development. Globally, women and girls spend an estimated 200 million hours every day collecting water. This burden limits access to education, employment, and opportunities for advancement. It is a stark reminder that water is not just a resource, it is a pathway to empowerment. The slogan for this year's observance captures this perfectly. Where water flows, equality grows.
The Public Utilities Minister also pointed to the impact of water shortages on women across the Federation.
We may not have women walking miles for water, but we must not overlook the role women continue to play in our homes, our communities, and our economy. Women are often at the center of managing households, caring for families, and ensuring that daily life runs smoothly. When water supply is inconsistent, it is women who are most often called upon to adapt, to manage, and to make things work. But today, we shift that narrative. We recognize that women are not just managers of water in the home. They are leaders, professionals, engineers, entrepreneurs, and decision makers. They are shaping our water sector, our communities, and our future.
And after the break, Nevis Water Minister has highlighted women's key role in water management on World Water Day. And Hosfords and TDC are reporting strong 2025 results, signaling continued business growth and economic activity. Stay with us.
Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice. You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice. Home or away, any time of the day. Credit or debit, right in your pocket. With National Bank card, so many benefits. Oh yeah, the choice is yours. Just come and embrace it.
Live your life your way with purchases big or small. Mango, nuts, breadfruit and all.
You can spend it when you want it, how you like, where you like. Swipe your card, live your life. National Bank Life is nice.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, Comunidad Latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
Every dream begins with a vision, a blank piece of land, a simple sketch on paper, or a conversation around the dinner table. At Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers, we believe that every home starts with hope and ends with something real. From the first brick to the final nail, we are there. We don't just supply materials, we partner in progress, step by step, wall by wall, room by room. We help build lives, futures, and legacies. This is more than construction. It's transformation. It's elevation. It's trust. Dream with us, grow with us, build with us, because your dream deserves more than just materials. It deserves a partner that builds with heart. Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers. Dream with us, grow with us, build with us.
Thank you for staying with us. Minister responsible for water services in the Nevis Island Administration, Spencer Brand, is calling for a more inclusive and sustainable approach to water management as Nevis also marked World Water Day on Sunday. In his address, Minister Brand highlighted this year's theme, Water and Gender, and said water access and management continue to affect different groups in different ways.
Water is a gendered issue. It touches every phase of life, from domestic responsibilities and caregiving to livelihoods, education, and leadership. Because water interacts with gender in complex ways, our response must be deliberate, inclusive, and transformative.
He outlined steps taken to strengthen governance in the water sector, including greater participation of women in leadership and decision-making.
We have strengthened water governance through gender-responsive leadership, ensuring equal participation of women and men in planning, management, and oversight. This commitment is evident in our leadership, where both the current and former managers of the Nevis Water Department are women. We have supported capacity building programs that empower women with the knowledge to manage water resources, interpret data, and lead climate adaptation efforts. We continue to promote transparent decision-making, ensuring that women's voices are not only heard, but acted upon in zoning, licensing, and infrastructure projects. Their contributions remain vital within our development advisory process.
The minister also pointed to ongoing work to improve water access across the island, including the construction of 3 pumping stations in St. James and a 400,000-gallon water tank at Stony Hill in Gingerland. A new well has also been completed in the Hamilton area as part of efforts to secure a more reliable water supply. Minister Brand said these developments form part of a wider strategy focused on infrastructure, public awareness, accountability, and climate resilience. He encouraged residents to support water conservation efforts and called for greater involvement in community-based initiatives. Meanwhile, St. Kitts and Nevis's 2 largest indigenous companies have recorded strong financial results for 2025, signaling continued momentum in the private sector. TDC Group and SL Hosford and Company Limited both reported record revenue and profits, with performance driven by activity across key areas, including retail, financial services, logistics, and distribution. TDC Group posted revenue of $127.35 million, with profits before tax reaching $18.68 million. SL Hosford also recorded strong results with revenue of $186.7 million and profits before tax of $18.62 million. Minister of Finance, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew said, the performance of the private sector reflects the positive impact of his administration's policies aimed at stabilizing and diversifying the economy. He noted that business growth signals job creation, economic expansion, and greater stability for the Federation. The government says it will continue to support public-private partnerships and create opportunities for entrepreneurship as part of its broader development agenda. Moving on to news on the regional scene, Brazil's president is calling for greater respect for developing nations, warning against a return to colonial-style practices. And PAHO is reporting health gains across the Americas, while cautioning that new and persistent risks still require urgent attention. The details after this break.
Here are your Hostels Value Match IGA Blue Tag Special.
Running March 19 to April 1st.
Nabisco Chips Ahoy are just $17.99. Kraft barbecue sauces, $9.99 each. Nissin chow mein and stir-fry noodles, just $5.49. Progressive soups, $13.99. Chawani Greek yogurt, just $5.69. Culinary Circle pizza, $24.99.
And now our value deals. Extra liquid laundry detergent, $12.99. Essential everyday pasta, $4.99. Almond braise, almond milk, $16.99. Speed stick deodorant, $9.99. Essential everyday dry tortilla, $8.99. IGA Essential everyday cereals, $10.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. If you need cash in a flash with now, no need to fuss, leave it to us. When you need cash in a flash, no need to fuss, leave it to us. Hear me now.
When life throws surprises your way, now's here to help. Whether it's for an urgent bill payment, home improvements, or unexpected health expenses, or even that last-minute holiday trip, with Now, you get cash in a flash, approved in just 24 hours.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now.
A loan product powered by National Bank.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
On the regional scene, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has criticized what he described as a return to colonial-style policies toward developing countries. Speaking at a summit in Colombia, Lula raised concerns about foreign intervention in the region, pointing to actions involving Cuba and Venezuela, as well as the wider handling of global conflicts. He also criticized the war involving the United States and Israel against Iran, drawing comparisons with the Iraq War and questioning the justification for military action. Lula warned that developing nations are once again being targeted for their natural resources, including critical minerals and rare earths. He further called for greater respect for national sovereignty and non-interference, saying countries must be allowed to determine their own path. The Brazilian president also criticized the United Nations, describing it as ineffective in addressing global conflicts and renewed calls for reform of the Security Council. Meanwhile, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has released its 2025 annual report, highlighting progress in health systems, disease control, and digital transformation across the Americas. The report, titled Driving Innovation, Delivering Impact, outlines how regional cooperation has helped countries respond to both long-standing and emerging health challenges. PAHO Director Dr. Jabas Barbosa said 2025 tested the resilience of health systems, but noted that the organization continued to adapt and deliver support across the region. Among the key developments, Suriname was certified malaria-free, while Brazil eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Efforts to address non-communicable diseases also expanded, with more than 10,000 healthcare centers across 28 countries adopting standardized care for conditions such as hypertension. The report also points to advances in digital health, including the introduction of secure vaccination record systems and telehealth services in several countries. However, PAHO warned of setbacks, including the loss of measles elimination status in the Americas after outbreaks were recorded in multiple countries. Health security remains a priority, with regional surveillance systems continuing to monitor and respond to threats such as dengue, yellow fever, and other emerging viruses. And coming up, Colombia's president has been named in a U.S. drug trafficking investigation, with authorities examining alleged links. And the United Nations is warning that the global climate is at record imbalance and is urging urgent action. We'll have the details when we come back.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end.
Thank you for staying with us. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro has been identified as a priority target in U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration records as investigations continue into alleged links to trafficking networks. Reports indicate that U.S. prosecutors in New York are examining claims that Petro may have had contact with drug traffickers, including allegations involving campaign support and possible arrangements to block extraditions. The priority target designation is used by the DEA for individuals believed to have a significant impact on the global drug trade. President Petro has denied any connection to trafficking and maintains he never accepted funds from criminal groups. Colombia's embassy in Washington has also rejected the claims, describing them as unverified and without legal or factual basis. Officials say the investigations are still in their early stages, and it remains unclear whether any charges will be filed. In other news, the United Nations Weather Agency is warning that the Earth's climate is now further out of balance than at any point in recorded history. The World Meteorological Organization says the planet is retaining more heat than it can release, driven by greenhouse gas emissions such as carbon dioxide. This, quote, energy imbalance has pushed ocean temperatures to record levels and continued to drive the melting of ice caps. The agency also reported that the last 11 years have been the warmest on record, with global temperatures in 2025 reaching about 1.43 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Officials warned that conditions could worsen, with a shift to a super El Nino weather pattern expected later this year, which could drive even higher global temperatures. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has renewed calls for countries to move away from fossil fuels and transition to renewable energy. The report also links rising temperatures to more extreme weather, higher sea levels, and increased risks to ecosystems and human health. And up next in sports, West Indies women have been fined for a slow over rate in their match against Australia, and the Pakistan Super League will be played without fans as regional security concerns force changes to the tournament. Stay with us.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very end. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very end.
First up in sports, the West Indies women's team has been fined for a slow over rate in their opening T20 match against Australia in St. Vincent. The side was docked 10% of their match fee after being ruled 2 overs short of the required rate. Match referee Rion King imposed the sanction in line with ICC regulations, which set penalties for teams that fail to complete their overs within the allotted time. Captain Haley Matthews accepted the charge, meaning the matter was resolved without a formal hearing. Australia won the match, and the teams are set to meet again in the final T20 encounter before a 3-match one-day series gets underway in Bastair. Meanwhile, the 2026 Pakistan Super League will be played without fans due to the ongoing crisis in West Asia. Organizers have also scaled back the tournament, reducing matches to just 2 venues instead of the original 6, with all games now set for Lahore and Karachi. The opening ceremony, which was scheduled for Lahore, has been cancelled. PCB chairman Mohsin Naqvi said there is still a possibility that fans could return for the later stages, depending on how the situation in Iran evolves. The regional conflict has also contributed to global oil disruptions, with impacts being felt in Pakistan, particularly through supply pressures linked to the Strait of Hormuz. And when we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
Yeah, man. Another day in the books. Well, hello there. She pretty from head to toe, and are you ready to go? Wait there. Whew. Can't afford to slip up, not even in my dreams.
Recapping the top stories, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew is leading a delegation in Nigeria for the Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit. St. Kitts and Nevis has signed a film and creative industry partnership in Nigeria, with Minister Samuel Duggins announcing the agreement, and Minister Conris Maynard is urging sustainable water use and greater public awareness during World Water Day activities. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been your presenter, Shaira Flanders. Have a good one.